We're Red Rook Films, and this is the first of our Grumpy Old Men reviews. Today we are reviewing...
Testify. Bring your word if it's worth it's fine. Don't give me maybe. Don't give me I don't know. Baby, you ain't singing when you're crying. See, I was born on a storm. When I get gone, and I don't need any wrong to know better.
Welcome back to the Rook. As usual, I'm Caleb. This is Elizabeth, and this is
I got chocolate.
Carlos.
That is Chocolate Face.
I got chocolate in my mouth.
We just came from watching Marvel's latest movie, Black Panther, and we would like to talk to you about it now.
I have seen gods fly. I've seen men build weapons that I couldn't even imagine. I've seen aliens drop from the sky.
Yeah.
But I have never seen anything like this. How much more are you hiding?
Hold up. Let's go.
So, let's start with the guy who has chocolate all in his mouth.
Yeah, make Carlos talk.
Okay, we'll just skip. Go ahead, Elizabeth. Elizabeth, what did you think about the movie?
Black Panther.
I thought the movie was awesome.
Yes.
It was great.
Wow, well done, Elizabeth. As usual,
That was my
incredible intel, beautiful insights into a film we just watched.
We just watched it and we didn't know we were going to review it, so it kind of put me on the spot there.
So we should just head on over to Mr. Chocolate Face himself,
Sure.
Carlos Folk.
So Black Panther is the first Marvel release of 2018, and it shows a character they were introduced to back in Civil War, and great introduction.
Great introduction.
Great introduction, great storyline for him, and it concluded that, so we thought, but it actually continues with this movie because this movie takes place maybe a few days, maybe a week after Civil War. And it continues, we continue with Black Panther, which is King T'Challa, and how he is coping with being the sudden king of the fictional country of Wakanda and Africa.
I also quite enjoyed this film. It has a lot of royal intrigue in it, which I've always really enjoyed. Things like Hamlet and Lion King and stuff. I don't know why royal intrigue is just so freaking interesting. It is. It's
No, you just
always-
went from Hamlet to Lion King. That was great.
But there were a lot of Lion King references. I don't know if y'all caught that. I mean it was pretty cool.
It's
I
also
see James Earl Jones in the clouds.
That when he went to visit his ancestors, it looked like...
Holy shit! I didn't think about that.
The
You
tree,
should have got James Earl Jones to be like.
the tree in there
Just to stand in the back.
exactly like the tree in Lion King.
And
And there was the whole brother...
they have all those trees in
killing the
Africa.
brother. No.
Yeah, again.
It looked exactly
Well,
like
anyways,
Lion
in the
King.
cloud,
I'm pretty
I would
sure
like to
it was
have
an
him.
homage.
No, the cloud should have had James Earl Jones saying, "T'Challa."
You just want to hear James Earl Jones talk.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
Lion
So
King.
anyway, yeah, I love royal intrigue stories. They're always really interesting to me, and this is a very good one. And I've always enjoyed the comic book.
Can I get in on that?
Sure.
Because I don't know how chronological we're going in this review, but I have to say, T'Challa, cool hero. He was awesome, great Black Panther. But the women in Black Panther were freaking badass. Like, the women of this movie were the MVPs, for real. They were awesome, all of them. Like, maybe even better than the women, maybe even just as badass or better than the women in the island in Wonder Woman. They were badass. Anyway.
The Amazons.
Yes, those. Super cool.
Yes, they did do this. Yes, the entire royal guard were women with shaved heads.
They were
Yeah.
so cool, man. And then the little sister is like an engineering genius. Like a technical, like, you just don't see that role reserved for, women, especially young women, very often. It was super cool. A good role model. Another good role model that Marvel has introduced. So the women, my favorite part of Black Panther.
Of course, there has been articles out lately that people are not happy because Black Panther didn't say anything about the LBGT thing.
Who's mad about that?
I don't know. There's been at least 3 articles
What
that
were
they
they
didn't.
supposed to say about it?
They just didn't have any gay people in this movie.
Were they?
It was hinted at, wasn't it?
Who
Were they
cares?
supposed to? I'm so confused.
I'm also very confused. I have read 2 of them so far.
Are people mad because there were
Not
some?
people, just a few hardcore, like SJW kind of people.
Is that because there were some in Wonder
There
Woman?
weren't.
So they in
in
Wonder
Wonder Woman, yes.
So they were like hoping that.
I guess so. I just felt like someone wanted to complain about something, and
Once
it
you
was hard to complain about this
specifically
film.
cover every single type of person in every single movie, doesn't it lose?
Yeah.
Yes, it very much so does.
Yeah, there were no Mexicans in that film, and I didn't get mad.
It's true. It's true. He didn't get mad once. Hell, he didn't get mad when Bane was no longer Hispanic.
Now I'm trying to think if there were any Mexicans that I saw in the movie. I think you might be right. I don't
There weren't
I don't
any.
remember.
But we don't go up in the arms about that. Well, maybe like, what's his name? The guy from Battlestar Galactica.
Edward James Olmos.
Edward James Olmos. But even he was all like, whatever. It was a good movie, you know.
That's all that really matters in my opinion. Stories need to be good. And this story was good, and I enjoyed it.
There's people who are going to find problems with every single movie.
That was the point I was trying to make.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do, someone's going to be
Someone
upset
will be-
about
someone will be mad.
something.
But the movie was great. It was.
We're going to go into spoilers now.
Yeah.
Spoilers! 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 That was your cue to stop watching if you don't want spoilers.
All right, so it started off with
I just like the fact that you went spoilers, you jumped up and down, and you want people to stop watching.
I will be doing more acrobatics at this point in the show, so you probably don't want to stop watching, but
if you don't want the movie ruined.
just kidding.
Yeah.
Stop watching now if you don't want the movie ruined.
Gotcha. So it started off with our hero burying his father and having to become king. And there was a really cool ceremony to become king. I thought it was really interesting
It was cool.
because they just said any one of the tribes who belong to like Wakanda, which they mentioned there were 5 of, can challenge at this point. And none but one tribe did, which was this big grizzly, huge men.
Yeah, but they were supposed to be gorillas, not grizzlies.
Oh, I meant grizzly as the way they looked, but I didn't know if they were supposed to be gorillas, so I'm sorry
they were
about
the ones
that.
that were the gorilla tribe and had the gorilla mask.
The mask that was a
Pay
gorilla.
attention, Caleb. Anyway.
Their palace, which is later on in the film, is a gorilla. It was like
Yeah.
holding up a cliff. It was a gorilla.
Well, I noticed that, but I just didn't think any. Sorry, I didn't put a specific animal for every group of people. I apologize. The point was, they were huge, and they came out, and of course our boy won and became king. It was really interesting.
Oh, boy. Yeah. He didn't kill him. He showed him mercy, which plays a role later in the film, which, was really cool.
Which is another reason why this movie's awesome. Everything they started off with
Tied in.
tied into the story. It's important. Even things that felt that they weren't that important or were just a side thing that killed time wasn't. It was actually a part of the story. That's how you write a story. That's how you direct and edit. That's how you do things. It was really well done, in my opinion.
Yep.
So, at this point, we see Claw again from Age of Ultron, who has a new robotic arm, and he steals some more vibranium.
Vibranium.
Maybe I should stop drinking at this point.
He's only had one.
Lightweight.
Shit, guys.
Vibranium.
Yes. And so this comes to the attention of Wakanda, so they decide to go and capture him, because it turns out they were chasing him for the last 30 years.
Which is impressive because if you figure, they had all this technology, they had the means to surveillance and everything, and he was always 1 or 2 steps ahead.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
He was a really interesting villain. He made me laugh.
Let's have some fun.
Multiple times. Because he was like just a little bit crazy. Not like totally insane, but just a little bit off his rocker.
He
To the point where
enjoyed
was
what he
funny.
did.
Yes, he really enjoyed. The crazier things got, the happier he was. It was awesome. I really liked this villain.
True. Although, Michael B. Jordan.
That's where I was getting
Best
next.
villain.
Michael B. Jordan was helping him out.
He was a great villain.
And because of that, they were freed, and they were about to take off in this plane, and Michael B. Jordan starts killing all the villains, including Claw, which at this point made me go, because Marvel seems to have this problem. They never want to keep their interesting villains alive. Just wanted to say that. This is a mistake in my opinion. Maybe the only mistake I thought in the entire film. Stop killing the really interesting villains. I want to see them come back. Loki's the only guy that keeps living in your movies.
Loki, I love Loki.
So,
But both these villains kind of had to die. Both of their deaths were very purposeful. I mean,
it's true, but you could have
Killmonger
rewritten them
bringing
away.
Andy Serkis back is what won him over with some of the other tribes, because they were disappointed that T'Challa hadn't been able to bring back this guy that they've been hunting. So that was a
But he could
very
have brought him back alive. And
True, but then they would have
because
had to
originally
keep
that's
him
what the
around
plan
and-
was.
yeah.
Yeah, well, he could have just been in a prison cell. It wouldn't have been that big of a deal.
But that's where the whole thing comes into play, where just one character, even though dead or alive, was brought into Wakanda, and then it shows how T'Challa wasn't able to do anything, and it brought doubt to everybody.
Yep.
So it
Yeah.
all tied in together, and it was very impressive.
It was.
Very
And we
impressive.
Find out that Jordan's character, who was known as Killmonger,
He was awesome.
was also a cousin and royal blood to Wakanda, but was raised in Oakland, California, and so decided to challenge for the throne. He wins, and he's now the king of Wakanda. Got really interesting at that point.
We think he wins.
That's
Spoiler alert!
It's true.
He does not. And then the badass women come out and fuck shit up. Sorry.
That is
They
also
do
true.
though. Anyway,
So yeah, so you got these people kind of fighting each other. You got Cloak Boys versus Spear Women. It's pretty much the way I thought of it.
What they're talking about is a final battle between trying to make sure that technology doesn't escape Wakanda, because there's a dividing faction right now in Wakanda where they should be hidden from the rest of the world like it's always been, or where they should venture out and help out humanity and help out everyone
but
else.
Michael B. Jordan's version of helping out humanity, and the reason that he's, deemed a villain is, although, yes, of course, that would be the right thing to do, help everyone. If possible, he really wants to wage war with all the weapons, all the...
He wants to conquer, is what she's trying to say.
He wants to conquer and make their nation the conquerors and everyone else the conqueror.
One world government under
Right.
Wakanda.
But he's a very sympathetic villain. I mean, it
I didn't think so.
kind of.
I thought so.
I think he was a sympathetic villain. And not quite an anti-hero, because there's a difference, but a sympathetic villain, because you see with this tragic kind of childhood, impoverished, and the way his dad died, and how he should have been raised in this place, Wakanda, but was just kind of abandoned. I mean, you can kind of see how that led to getting him where he was, and how he might have at one time had the right mentality of what he wanted to do, and it changed to anger, and we ended up with Killmonger, who had killed.
You see, there
much
could have been a different way of doing it, though.
There could have been, which is exactly why he
No,
becomes a villain,
I really like
but
the
he's
whole
a
idea
sympathetic villain.
of feeling abandoned and the
Oh, that
loss
line
of
he
that
says.
feeling builds up to anger,
Yeah, absolutely.
and he doesn't have a lot of empathy for other people.
It
by
could have
the
built
end of
up to being extremely shy.
It could, yes, but he turned into a villain, and what we're saying is that he's a sympathetic
Then it'll be a
villain.
shy monger.
But that line at the end, oh my god.
Yeah, well, I'm most likely the fact that it was when you saw the sunset, you just thought it was beautiful.
Yeah, that
That's
was,
the thing that made me go, oh, dude, I feel you.
it was a good movie.
It was a very good movie. We did spoilers, but we also left a lot of stuff out. So if you happen to have not seen it and gotten this far, you should go see
Yeah,
it.
they've probably stopped watching already because
I'm just saying. Well, in my opinion, you should watch all Marvel movies because they all connect in a way that's really freaking fabulous. But
And Infinity War is probably going to be badass.
oh my gosh, yes.
Probably.
From the trailers, I'm betting it's going to start in Wakanda, the Infinity Wars
That would be sweet.
series. So
I just hope we see Doctor Strange a lot because he's my favorite. Anyway, I had to throw that in.
what about Thor?
I do love Thor, but I just love Doctor Strange. When he did the cameo in the last movie, I was like even happier than all of the Thor. I love Doctor Strange. He's awesome. Off track a little bit, but
A little bit.
Benedict Cumberbatch is
Not Thor.
true, but he's still awesome. Michael B. Jordan was also awesome.
They could have saved him too.
They could have saved him.
He even
but-
said, I could save you, and I get they had that line, but
Yeah.
if they had saved him, and then he could have came out later and just saved. They should have saved one villain. I don't care which one. They're both good. I really like Claw because I love the way he enjoyed it when chaos happened. He just started laughing and having a good time.
They should have Claw because of the fact that I was telling Caleb that Claw has interactions with a lot of Marvel villains in the comics. So he could have brought in somebody else, and he's an arms dealer.
Yeah, he could
So
have
he can go on and go into different parts of the world and
Other
connect to
villains.
people. So missed opportunity. That's my only thing I didn't like about it.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I know I sound like I'm sticking on this, but that's because I can't believe Marvel hasn't figured this out yet, that we want them to keep some villains alive. But
The Vulture, just starting
they
off.
can't. That's true.
And the last few movies have been really good with villains. Starting with, I know, Baron Zemo.
Yeah, Zemo was awesome. I know a lot of y'all probably disagree.
Who?
He was the bad guy in Civil War.
The guy who orchestrated the whole thing.
I need to watch that movie again.
We really liked him. His motivation was awesome. His strategy was perfect. Okay, we're sticking on this one villain.
Vulture.
Vulture, incredible.
Michael Keaton, of course.
Of course.
Hela.
Hela was great. I felt her pain too.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like she also had the
Oh.
abandonment thing.
Yeah.
I like that. Like she felt abandoned by her father and she was pissed about it.
So they're all good villains, and they're all being kept alive. They're all alive.
Baron is, that's true. So is Vulture.
Oh, Hela.
Is Hela still alive?
Possible being featured in Infinity
Yeah, I
War.
think so, but I don't think. Did they? I thought they looked like they killed her.
Mm-mm. She was just there, like she was about
they
to like
exploded the
fight
whole
the
Asgard.
Centaur or whatever that guy
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
And then Asgard exploded. Was I wrong about that? I thought Asgard exploded at that point.
When you don't see the actual villain explode, then you have to
That's
assume
true.
that they're kept alive.
That's true. That is very comic booky. If you don't see it happen.
Or movies in general, yeah.
Anyway, we really like this movie.
Go see it.
If I was giving it Rooks, I would give it.
Yeah.
I would give it 4 Rooks. I'd give it 4 Rooks. I really enjoyed it. I'm definitely gonna watch it again.
I'd probably give it 4 Rooks and a Pawn. Because, that's kind of my go-to.
She always has to get that half in there.
And I will give it 4 Rooks and a Knight because I remember the system this time.
That's
remember
the
the rating
same
system.
rating he gave.
What was it?
What was it?
Bright.
Yeah.
Go see our Bright review. It's currently out right now. So yeah, that's what I would give it. So yeah.
The revolution will be live.
So overall positive review for
Huge
Black
review.
Panther. Go see it, especially if you're jonesing for a Marvel movie right before Infinity War. Go see it.
And if you're watching this and you don't like us on Instagram or Facebook, fix that. Thanks.
Have a great night, guys.